All right, let's jump into it, shall we? So, a lot of Runeterra decks are built around champions. However, this deck is explicitly a championless deck. So, the Undying is a powerful card that can kind of be built around, and that's what this deck is doing. It's a 2/2 that can't block for 3, has a last breath trigger that says revive me at next round start, and then grant me +1/+1 for each time that I've died. Now remember, Grant is a permanent modifier, so basically every time the Undying dies, it comes back bigger. Onus, cool. Thanks for the year and a half. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So this deck has a number of cards like Ravenous Butcher that kill allies when it comes into play. Glimpse Beyond. Chronicler of Rune is actually very absurd with the Undying because he basically splits your Undying. So something that's important to note for people that are getting used to Runeterra coming from Magic or any other paper card game is when something is revived in Runeterra, it's not like a game where you have a discard pile and you're reviving a specific thing. Reviving basically creates a new instance of that thing. So when you Chronicler the Undying, it kills it, and it basically creates a new one, and then the one that it had initially killed comes back the next turn, like the Undying always comes back. So Chronicler basically splits your Undying. We've got 3 copies of the new copy Crumble here, which allows us to kill it and kill something the opponent has. Yep, we've got Stalking Shadows here, which it's possible that Stalking Shadows should be a 3 of in this list. That's something I'm going to think about. This card seems very, very powerful, not only at getting your Undying, but your other various utility things. We've got Ethereal Remitter, which kills your Undying. We've got some Jacks the top end for a little bit of reach, as well as Sleep with the Fishes, which can eventually kill your Undying. We got some Citrus Couriers, Terralia, we've got a Cheeky Rex at the very top end. So I'm excited to see how this deck goes. If this deck feels like it's reasonable and it's fun, I think I'm definitely going to end up throwing it up on the website. Because it's kind of sweet without it as a championless build. And champions are obviously the most expensive card type in Runeterra, clocking in at a whole $3. So if you don't have them, the deck is monetarily very cheap to build. Yeah, it's a very unique archetype. Big agree. I'm pretty sure I just full mulligan looking for a namesake. Afternoon, YZ. Since Tempo Endure died off. Did Tempo Endure die off? It was really good last season. What changed that makes Tempo Endure not reasonable this season? Do you know? We weren't expecting callers. This deck isn't in the stream description. Hush and Frostbites. Okay. It's a good observation. Both of those are very reasonable right now.
The chains, they never stop.
I've been playing Aggro this season, it's been fine. Yeah, okay, that's good to hear. Yeah, that's the person that said Hush was there last season. That's super accurate. This makes us a 4/3 when it dies, so really good, really okay offering up that trade.
Hop on the trade.
Think I just take this hit and then play old Crocky here. Lee Sin has not been that popular.
Who's on top of the bounty board today?
I know it's annoying to play against Lee Sin, but in terms of popularity, it really hasn't been super omnipresent in my experience so far. Alright, and then here, we probably actually want to play the ephemeral one first, right? Although I guess if I wait a turn, I could use this one to bring the shark back. Yeah, I guess we Shark Chariot and then Undying here and then get in. I think it's a mix of things, Bracador. I think even last season, before the new cards were dropped, Lee Sin felt... the Lee Sin deck feels a lot like a Magic deck. It feels a lot like Modern and Pioneer and Historic decks in that, like, it's not overbearing, so you probably don't want to ban it on terms of power level or adjust it in terms of power level, but in terms of how the archetype feels to play against from an emotional perspective, just feels bad. I also think last season Lee Sin was the novel new thing with the update that it got. So it's like, well, yeah, maybe I'm supposed to attack with this too, probably. Well, like, Lee Sin, I think, was overplayed last season based on its popularity because it was the shiny new thing as well. So I think not only has it fallen off a bit because it's no longer the shiny new thing and there's new cards out, but it was the new thing previously. Nice, is it done? Yeah, they buff Bastion as well. I do think they should adjust Lee Sin somehow because of how it feels to play against. I think that how a deck feels to play against is important. Games are supposed to be fun. And I do think there's a lot of instances where the Lee Sin deck just isn't fun to play against.
For trouble, it found you.
If they don't open on attacks here, I think we're probably going to crumble Misfortune.
Don't stand in my way.
Yeah, I agree with Pi. He's just not interactable enough. Hired, I didn't mention this in the deck tech, but Hired Gun technically has synergy with this too, huh? And it lets you force things to block it, which is kind of neat.
Faster than my arrow? I think not.
They have another Misfortune here, we're probably dead.
I deal in coins and carnage.
Definitely need to play a blocker out here.
Winter take you!
Amarosans, stand together! Make it it worth my while.
Undying, eating Ash's frostbite is real good for us.
The time is right. Strike now.
Save the homestead.
Son of a...
Sacrifice had a bitter cause.
Yahtzee! A true skill game we play.
Shadow Shivers, careful spikes.
Oh man. That's real good.
My aim is true.
We were this close, chat.
So little to ask.
Unify the tribes.
No, that Gauntlet command isn't updated. We're this close. They're also playing a championless deck. I don't know what the new Gauntlet is. It's hard to have an opinion because I don't know what I'm supposed to have an opinion on. A 3 deck. Oh, is that? Oh, actually, I have a question. Hey, Guilt. Good morning. Good games to you. Good luck in the rest of your lettering today. Is the Gauntlet live now? One of the gauntlets you can play to earn a buy in the thing at the end of the season. It is, and how long do those last for? How long do those last for? Are they a week at a time? And when do they rotate? Yeah, I know the first one is the only one that counts. Do they have a calendar of them posted somewhere? Does anybody know? Jurassic War Machine, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. I really appreciate that. Welcome to Oglandia. Thanks for supporting my content with this month. Two days and 16 hours till this gauntlet ends. Okay, sweet. I don't have anything to play, right? I guess I could do this and get a Last Breath unit to play. It's kind of funny.
Mystical levitation requires concentration.
Sure. So they're a control deck? Yeah, did people think you had to 7-0 the gauntlets? Were they just not paying attention? Yeah, you don't have to flawless, you just have to get 7 wins. If I do that on stream, I don't know. Need to decide. I plan to play a gauntlet each week regardless.
There, I'll spot him. I bout my rules.
If I don't do it on stream, at the very least, I'll record it and put it up on YouTube. I feel like I'd prefer Diana Springs Bug. Diana's really good at controlling the board in that deck. And she gets pretty large with Pale Cascade.
I promised a bloodbath.
Oh no! We burnt. I needed to gem this. I forgot the sleep with the fishes was going to generate. Whoops. Whoops. If I'm going to take the time to play the Gauntlet, I'm going to play the 3 decks I would like to play in it. If people want to send in viewer submissions, I'll play viewer submissions on the ladder, just like always, is my intention.
Get 'em on!
Oh, this is ephemeral. I should have just passed there, right? That attack is bad.
Nothing escapes my watch.
My intention is to not worry about ladder rank at all and continue to play largely viewer submissions on the ladder. And then at some point, play a gauntlet each week to attempt to qualify for their thing via that way. But I'm also not going to super worry about it. Like, Runeterra is fun, and I think it definitely has less variance than Magic in it, but it's still a card game. You need to have realistic expectations. Which flat deck will you be choosing for the Gauntlet? Asking the real questions. Really sad we lost our Citrus Core here. That was a really big punt. Well, you can only play one Kench deck in the Gauntlet. Like, as of right now, I think I would probably have a Kench deck somewhere in my lineup, yeah. So, for people that aren't familiar with the Gauntlet rules, you can't overlap decks. Or you can't overlap exact regions, and you can't overlap champions. So, like, you can play 2 Targon decks, but you can't play 2 Targon Freljord decks. You could play a Targon Freljord and a Targon Bilgewater, but they can't both play Diana or both play Orion's Soul.
Success gets noticed around here.
I think they did a really sweet job of balancing having people play different decks, but not really limiting people on what type of archetypes they can play.
Lock the doors.
So many years, so much misery.
I feel like there's ruination in my future.
Who likes that odds, eh?
I feel like I want to put the 3rd Stalking Shadows in here. Without having an Undying in play, a lot of our cards are pretty mediocre. Feel like I want more ways to find that card.
unwanted wrath.
Well, see, I don't even think they really did that, Hoffman. Like, you can play 3 mid-range decks, or 3 aggro decks, or 3 control decks. What their restrictions did was essentially ensure that the decks that you're playing have a range of win conditions in them. So, like, your opponent's not going to have to play against the same thing multiple times, right? They're not going to have to lose to the same style of deck multiple times. I'm going to trim a Jack since I'm going up a Shadows. I kind of feel like I want another Hired Gun. This card's so good against aggro decks, and like giving things vulnerable seems really good with our thing. I think I'm going to trim one of these Shakedowns that also gives vulnerable. I think I'd rather have the body and a thing that I can find with Stalking Shadows. Yeah, you can click the number on the card to add one to the deck. It's really useful in deck building on mobile. Archetype in general with card games, Hoffman, generally refers to like the generic style of deck. So like aggro, mid-range, combo, control would be like the 4 big archetypes, I would say. I'm pretty sure the way this deck is playing, I'm just supposed to full mulligan if I don't have the Undying. Yeah, ramp can often be referred to. Like, for example, I will probably be picking mid-range / aggressive decks. So those are the types of decks I like to play. Oh, I guess Ash Lux is controlling. I do like me some Ash Lux.
Knocked and ready.
The Faith Age, thank you for the 41 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around.
Into action.
I've been enjoying Catch. Yeah, he's a really sweet card. Really good, like, mid-range threat that allows you to be interactive. Hired Gun is also very good with Cursed Keeper.
What does he want from me? Gotta get out of here!
That's a Culling Strike on my Hired Gun. Deal. So aggro is an archetype. Bannerman is a deck, and a particular 40 cards is a build of that deck. Yeah, that's good. That's good jargon.
All the world on
I would agree with the jargon you just established. I think I just play Jack here, although no, Sejani costs 6, right? Or yeah. We'll play Jack because they can't Sejani us yet.
The War Mother will unite us all.
The War Mother will unite us all.
Hell is the lot of you.
Oh, for this trade, I think. Yeah, mine. I'm gonna hang on to it for now. The upside to offering the trade is if they have a Frostbite. I don't get Frostbitten this turn. I'll have the trade.
This is our homeland.
Strange.
Again, our deck feeling a little bit medium when we don't have our Undying. Hopefully we can find Undying or Stalking Shadows here.
We fight for one Freljord.
Yeah, Jack nerf being super relevant for sure. Does anybody know, will all of the gauntlets that give you the Prime Glory buy, will those all be the best of 3? Or the best of 3 pick 3 deck ban one?
These old eyes still see far.
You can always type !deck in chat to get a direct link to all my deck lists.
This my ship.
A rally here at least for an okay attack. Hopefully they don't have another big threat to deploy. Perfect. You can also check decks that I've played in the past on my YouTube channel. There are deck codes as well as links to their Mobalytics pages in the video descriptions. I don't know if I missed it in chat earlier, but I asked, is there a like main page of all the Gauntlet start and stop
Today we
dates?
fight as one.
Does anybody know? Yeah, I feel like after these last 2 games, confident you need to always be mulliganing for this card. Our deck just basically doesn't do anything when we don't have it.
Gotcha.
You own what you take.
Well, that's unfortunate. I think we're a little bit too slow to get set up in this set.
Go back or under. Came to wrong place. No hurt my crew.
I think I put this here because I can make this vulnerable next turn. And then hit it with this.
These stories were true.
The chains, they never
Oh, you know what? I probably should have played this instead of this, and then played the crocodile to eat this in the Undying is what I should have done. Yeah, that's what we should have done. This is a good draw.
Ah, behind you, a yeti!
Yetis? There's no such thing.
Victory requires a sharp blade.
This feels pretty good. Yikes. Yikes! Had to open my mouth. Had to open my mouth.
They're out there. I'll spot them. Safeguard our homes.
Face me!
This might save us.
Took a wrong turn, didn't you?
Yeah, okay. Dead to a pump spell.
Alert the village.
These are still vulnerable. So I get to force blocks next turn. Alright, the fact that they took that hit means Citrus Courier's Plunder is now live. Which is real good for us too.
Yeah, bud.
Alright, we've got some live draws. Oh, I had attacks there. I forgot I could have attacked with this. Should have. Missed 5 points of damage. We're technically dead on board.
You gotta believe me!
You're mine.
If they hook this last, we die.
They'll be blown in the water!
The fact that I missed an attack for 5 last turn could come back to bite us here now.
Me.
Eat my words!
Yeah, they should be at 9, or I should have traded the turn before. This was probably the best draw in my deck.
Get bloody, get paid. Avarosa, guide me!
Oh no, she's a 9/7. Oh, that's unfortunate. So we're a little bit off. And if I would have hit with the Yeti last turn, well, there's no guarantee it would have been lethal. They could have potentially blocked, but if they would have taken the hit, yeah, I would have had lethal here. So there's a chance I could have had lethal with that. All right, I think we're gonna make some more changes here again. Playing Stalking Shadows and not playing Doom Beast feels like a real punt. We have a lot of 5s. I almost feel like Jack's not good. He's been real clunky, although I guess Jack technically enables the plunder on these. I feel like I just want some of this card in here. Managing board space is part of those deck splits. You are correct. Yeah, Echo. There's also cards that wipe the text off of cards. So, like, you can wipe the last breath trigger off it before you kill it in combat. Things like Hush. Feel like I have enough ways to kill my Undyings on average. I feel like I keep getting clogged up on ways to kill them and not having enough of them. Sure, again, board management is a big part of those of Runeterra decks in general. And the drawback to the landmarks is there another factor that you have to factor in when managing your board positions. Has anybody seen Hush after the nerf? Yeah, plenty. The Hush nerf is actually an upgrade to it in a lot of situations. Because there's a lot of points where you don't want to Hush multiple times. You'd rather have your one copy be more resource efficient. The Hush wasn't so much a nerf as it's just different. They changed the card. Which is one of the great things they can do with digital. They can just like it's not strict power level upgrade, downgrade so much. They're like, okay, this card's just different than it was before. I probably need to look into writing my own Runeterra bot, because the MTG bot person obviously is invested in the game and doesn't have them updated consistently. I'm gonna go ahead and glimpse this and get the kill count going up. This is our first game with Undying in the opener. Maybe? I don't remember if we had it in the very first game that we played, but we definitely didn't have Undying in the opener in the last two that we played.
I am unbinged. I do enjoy prospecting. Long way from home.
Who's on top of the bounty board today?
Is the October sub survey? It is not. I'm going to be making a video based on the results of the sub survey on Monday afternoon.
Let us prove this establishment's fair.
If you are interested in supporting my content and want to make your voice heard on the sub survey for whether or not you prefer Runeterra, Magic, variety stuff, whatever bits I've been making, feel free to sub and join the Discord server and let me know. I appreciate the support. Demacia Kench. Opponent's build seems really sweet with Lux. Okay, just let this happen.
You could be saved.
Our Undying's getting rather large rather quickly here.
Excuse my impertinence.
May I ask what my current sub count is? I currently have, at this very moment, exactly 2,100 unique subscribers. And the sub survey has currently had, as of this morning, 849 responses on it. Which is getting close to the average. Usually I have like somewhere between 40 and 60% that fill it out. Around half being the average, I believe. Do we just end the round and then open attacks next turn? Yeah, it's explicitly for prime subs are the same as all other subs, Echo. So on my end, a prime sub's no different than a tier 1. I think we just take the pass and then attack and open on attacks next turn.
Appetizers of plenty.
You barriered again? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Alright, so... Yikes! They have the technology. Yeah, I think that means we're dead. Well, actually, can we kill them this turn? No, because they're gonna get to eat something. Yeah, the rallies aren't good enough. Good lord. Whoop. Hey, Grand Seal. Thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate you re-up and welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. That is very... There's... Kench... I think Kench is a perfect example of phenomenal game design, in that there's just... It's a good card that just has so many ways to build around it. Just so many really sweet ways to build around it. Ravenous Butcher has been really mediocre. The fact that the thing we want to kill with Butcher costs 3 means that by the time you play Butcher, its stats are like no longer relevant on the board. Feels really bad. Can you with Undying be obliterated? It can. So to beat Unyielding Spirit, you need like an Obliterate or a Silence. Or the two ways you beat it. So Silence would wipe the text off it temporarily, and Obliterate would just exile it, basically. Yeah, but like, the person that submitted this deck didn't even submit with 3 of the 2-mana 1/1, so... Nah, this isn't Magic the Gathering Ghosted. There's lots of everything. So playing cards that are otherwise bad to play against to beat the thing you just played against. Like, I added a Vengeance to my deck. I think Vengeance is the better card. So, I didn't mulligan Stalking Shadows, because Stalking Shadows could theoretically help us find the Undying.
Success gets you noticed around here. Don't stand in my way. Son of a...
Well, I mean, getting a Doom Beast with that is good, but good golly, are we bad at finding our namesake with this deck?
These isles will be cleansed. I cannot be broken.
This is not an airport. You do not need to announce your departure. Thanks for getting me into Runeterra. Avoided it for a while because I was so time sunk into Magic, but I made the jump in October with you, and I'm glad you took the jump, Echo. Like, that's what took me so long to try something else as well, and I feel like the number of people who are playing Magic because they've been conditioned into it is incredibly high. And if other people, and honestly, part of the reason why Magic is expensive is because it's an entrapment thing too, right? Like, getting people to invest not only time but also money into the game is a big part of what keeps people at it even when they're miserable. Not to mention all the various little predatory things like Arena does in the game to like make you feel like you're falling behind if you're not playing constantly.
Bless the faithful and sear the heretics. Follow the horizon.
shall weave our own destiny.
We're at the bottom of the LP. I'm gonna try and get a game where we have Undying on 3, just so we can, like, try and see what our deck's supposed to do. I don't think this one is making the website after these sets we played with it today, because, like, it's real odd, just kind of flopping around and we don't have our namesake. Yeah, I think a lot of people genuinely don't realize, like, I mean, like, it's a real tax, right? Like, games are something you're supposed to be playing for fun. Like, there's so many other things in the world that are taxing and feel bad that, like, when the thing you're supposed to be doing for enjoyment is also taxing and feels bad, like, that really stacks up. Not only with the formats being good, bad, or whatever, but, like, not feeling like every decision Wizards of the Coast makes is going to feel bad for me, or, like, caring about what they do also has been good.
Fell into him!
Yeah, that's a good comparison, Lampton. It's very similar to something like a single champion build, but we can't search for it. Stalking Shadows kind of fills that role, if that makes sense. Actually, I think I'd rather hook with this one, right? Because I want both of these to start coming back bigger. That's clever. Good play on the opponent's part. Yeah, very, very smart. They killed their thing so my Undying couldn't come back bigger. Got an update on the sub-survey. Yeah. As of this morning, with 850 responses, 21% of people say they're going to drop off if I don't go back to doing magic stuff. But that's an acceptable rate of failure, in my opinion, so... The real question is... what will the, 50% of my subs, the silent non-respondents, will their feelings line up with like what the people that respond do? And there's a chance that it doesn't, but I'm probably gonna find out. Do I just open on attacks here? Vulnerable with the Undyings has been genuinely good. So they have Oblitefish, but I have Glimpse here. So this normally would get rid of the Undying, but I have a way to do that. Okay. Our deck's really good when we have our namesake. I think the summary of, like, a one-champ build is pretty accurate with this deck. Like, I feel like I need another card that, like, synergizes with what this deck is doing other than the Undying. So you can, like, have a second thing to be doing when you don't have your namesake. What does he want from me? I thought about trying to play Vault. What card is Dial-Up Dragon? The 8/8 that stuns 2 things every turn. Because its enters play effect sounds like a dial-up modem.
Our mountain groves are full of dangers, but I know them all.
So they don't want to block this, otherwise it comes back, and the one we killed with this comes back. I should probably be attacking with this just to like clear out my board a little bit. Oh, I don't have the resources to play this too. That's awkward. Let's just play out another one.
I'm not afraid. Just a wee bit plain.
So you have an Undying coming back here as a 3/3.
Stand back.
Get bloody, get paid.
No more of your crap soup, lassie, please.
It's that soap? You've been 3D.
I can't play my opponent's cards. Don't tell me how to live my life. And that is how you interact with an Undying. Well, we still have one. Judge, my opponent's hushes aren't supposed to work like that anymore.
Hop to it, Ely. Round up those stars.
Don't tell me what to do.
You can look and see what someone's message history was, Azintoth. So if you type /user and then the username on desktop, you can see their full message history. Schnookums, thanks for the 16 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it. Thanks for keeping me around. Is that 5 out of 22? So that's not quite getting close to killing me yet. Of course, if they drop Soraka, she's gonna power up pretty quickly. Sometimes I click the ban button by mistake. Anything related, anything that gets you banned for related to supporting fascists, though, you can generally stay banned here.
Return with interest.
Nah, I just have quick actions on my thing, and there's for people that haven't seen quick actions before, there's literally ban, timeout, delete message 1, 2, 3. So it is easy to actually misclick. That's actually a really good draw. You can take the stupid broadback protector out.
We're all family here.
I'll protect you.
Don't show the other mods the tech. I'll never be fast enough to slay plebs now. Whew, that's unfortunate. Another way to target here.
By the power of the stars. I must inspire where once I shepherded.
Right, that's my job. Shepherding, I mean.
Fairies assistant!
I understand.
Who needs me?
Point, I shoot.
I mean, thoughts into playing Gauntlet? Yeah, I'm definitely going to play a Gauntlet each week. I don't know if I'm doing it on stream or not, though. I haven't decided. We might die to Star Spring plus this here. Perhaps I should have killed this instead of trying to kill this.
I feel better when you feel better. We look after our own.
Stand back. Stay strong.
Yeah, I think that was a mistake. It's a decent draw.
Be at peace. Take heart. Live with purpose.
Gotta play on stream. Reddit assures me Twitch chat's a competitive advantage.
Table for one, if you oblige. Everyone here, let's go. Oh, I don't require a menu.
Perfect. Correct, Echo. Based on feedback from the survey, variety stuff is probably what would get edged out if I decide to go back to doing magic stuff.
Don't stand in my way.
Closer, friend. Another path, another problem.
So a metric that is actually kind of interesting, Boo Shoes, is that the variety stuff among current subs is actually similarly popular to Runeterra. So of the 852 respondents, 59% say that they enjoy Runeterra stuff, and 58% say that they enjoy variety stuff. Raw viewer count's a little bit lower, but in terms of people that pay my bills.
It's a big responsibility to shepherd stars.
This landmark's gotta go, right?
Deadly paths, just another day in Targon.
I also sent out an email, Fuzzy Jello. Check your spam folder. Sometimes Gmail sends Twitch emails to spam, depending on what the header line was. Surveys. People telling you about giving you surveys are often spamming you. Rally potentially seems okay. The problem with the rally is I feel like I'm unlikely to be able to connect. Maybe I can. I'm gonna be able to deploy a bunch of stuff on their board next turn. I guess I could deploy 2 things right now too.
We weren't expecting callers.
Yeah, so like the problem with getting a second Undying going here is that the second Undying could just get eaten by Kench. Is the issue?
I'll protect you. Advertisers of brilliancy.
Thanks, Strazik. I appreciate you taking the time to do that. Okay, so now they burned Kench proactively here. So now since we drew this, I have a window to do it. And then I get to do Remitter on here.
All in a day's work.
Sacrifice for a greater
That's funny. And then, yeah, these rallies might get us there. So, like, next turn, we're going to get to open attacks. And then if we connect with anything, we'll get to Courier.
Come along! There's room for
Time's up, Steel Twat.
Pretty good last couple cards.
I do enjoy prospecting.
Bounties to claim.
I've got this. My dear, promise a safe return.
They are out of cards here.
Advertisers of brilliancy.
It's a great draw. I have 11 mana exactly here.
No, the stars!
How are the new cards feeling? I love the new set a lot. It's really, really well done. Added a lot of really solid build around cards.
It's my ship.
Taking you in.
This game really felt like it showed how impressive having the Undying on curve was. Like, when we have our namesake, our deck really fires on all cylinders. Yeah, killing the landmark was key to being able to win that game. For sure. Again, I think if we don't have the Undying or Stalking Shadows, we have to full mulligan to try and find one of those two, because, like, our deck just doesn't work without it. Okay, that could maybe be an Undying. Gives us four more looks at finding one. What's going on, Fireside Cyanide? Good morning to you. Nailed it. Lead on the ephemeral one here, because we want it to die so it can get growing bigger. Purple. Byron Siska, thank you for the 3rd of the year. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. If you haven't already, please take a second to fill out the sub survey in the Discord.
And here's where I'd paint my
Give me feedback about the direction of my content. I appreciate it. I think we're just hooking and killing these here, huh? Is buying one of the decks on your website and just jumping into ranked a bad choice? I would, at a minimum, recommend playing through all the challenges, Pimped Up Monk. So, after the tutorial, there's a bunch of optional levels that basically teach you all of the mechanics of the game by playing through, like, kind of like puzzle levels, basically. And they're really well done, and will teach you the ins and outs well. One thing to note about the decks on my site too, depending on what your play preference is, it's good to know that much like the Magic decks that tend to be on my site, the Runeterra decks on my site are mostly off the beaten path. So if you're looking for like established tier 1 decks, those would be different than what you're gonna find on my site. I think I'm just passing here and seeing what they do. Remember, the Undyings can't block here. Shakedown and Hired Gun have been super impressive. Turning these things into basically removal spells has been great.
We go as one.
Make it worth my while.
I am the shadow.
So these get vulnerable permanently. Again, Grant means they keep it forever. My Undying's going to be coming back at end of turn as a 3/3. Morning, Logan. If they play another unit out here, I'll play Hired Gun to make it vulnerable as well. I don't actually know the answer to that, Astox. I think chat's right that it would come back as a 2/2 because it comes into play and then grants itself a bonus. Should be how that works, I imagine. Can I just let this happen for now? So they killed one of our Undying and saved their thing, but... maybe I'm supposed to grasp here, because if they double gem, they save their thing. I could find a Citrus Courier here and rally, right? None of these are that good.
Return with interest.
I'm getting 3 Undying back, so I don't really want to put another thing on my bench here.
Mystical levitation requires
Why
concentration.
not Grasp? Because their deck has so many things that interact with Grasp there. They have Bastions, they have Guiding Touches. I'm also, like, not really in danger of dying. Oh, I'm only getting 2 Undying backs, right? They silenced 1. Forgot about that. This is not the rally, this is Jack the Winner. Yes, their deck does also play Deny. Thankfully, this isn't leveled yet, so I can jump block this at least. When Zed levels, his Shadow also gets his keywords. So we're taking 10 here, and then he's going to level up. Hopefully we can kill them next turn.
Embrace the shadow.
This basically gives me a random 5, because, like, this will come back a little bigger. I could just play Jack, though. Playing Jack's probably better than a random 5 and making this one bigger.
About my rules.
Wow, they're just dead. Yeah, so opponent's just, like, sitting on a bunch of cards in hand that allow them to protect their stuff, and they just can't beat us going wide. That's sick. Our deck's a lot better when we have the card our deck is named after. I know that's weird. That's weird, I know, but... Undying confirmed best solo champ. We'll see how we do against Pirate Aggro. The fact that this can't block's a big deal. Finding things that get vulnerable with this is nice, though. How much does this deck cost from scratch? Should be less than 10 bucks. I think this is, Jack and Undying are the only epics. These are $1.20 each.
If they don't break, they'll burn.
They'll burn.
Make the Empire proud.
Who's on top of the bounty board today?
How I felt about Crumble. Crumble's been good in this deck. This deck's got a lot of things it wants to sacrifice, and the text box on Crumble is good.
Got some fighting ya.
The Doom Beast we added
Looking
should
for
hopefully
trouble.
be helpful in this
It's on
matchup
you.
too.
Sunshine whispers her secrets.
Yeah, giving things vulnerable has been very good with the Undying. Shakedown especially feels like a meaningful upgrade to what this deck is doing. So they get to attack again here because they had scouts. We're gonna take 4 down to 10. Crumble has also been good. Agree with that.
Bullet to the face.
The Runeterra account just posted the schedule on Twitter for the Gauntlets. God bless.
I vote my rules. Who's ready for a show? Cowards, the lot of you. Don't you dare run. Fuck you.
That may or may not be a good trade for us.
Always forward.
I can't trigger Citrus Boy now. Neither of those are the Doom Beast I wanted for Christmas, but Chronicler's at least okay. Yeah, someone who runs the Twitter must have been watching the stream this morning. Thank you if you were. Vengeance still only hits units. That's lethal rate.
Aim.
Is the Singleton Gauntlet tri-region again? Think again, we just full mulligan everything but Stalking Shadows and the Undying, if we don't have an Undying to go.
Sharpen the blade, secure the kill.
I deal in coins and cards.
Oh, I could have forced that trade there, right? Yeah, it's fine. If they don't want to force it on the backswing, I'm okay with that, because then the Undying can kill this.
Winter take you.
For glory, face me.
Attack with this before they can. Icefield Archer me again. It's fine.
Will no one listen?
I think I'm just gonna go ahead and bank Spell Mana here, so that way I can go ahead and Withering Wail this turn.
I the Freljord.
Huh? This can get hooked by this next turn anyway, so I think I actually just grasp here and then take a hit.
Continue without me.
We're gonna take 11, but I've got ways to gain life back in my hands. It doesn't seem too terrible, including this Doom Beast this turn. This will get us a second Undying going, which is nice.
Bow to no one.
The chains.
Okay, play this out. Just have another blocker here for when they open attacks. A little bit of life buffer from Doom Beast looking good so far this game.
I will unite the Freljord.
Today, Ash, you'll see true leadership.
It's not bad. I could go ahead and play the Stalking Shadows one tier,
On top of the bounty board.
because I want a chump blocker anyways. Yeah, and Ash's Frostbites are not amazing against the Undying, is exactly correct. Ah, it's a shame we're 1 mana off of being able to do this here.
Born for conquest.
You're mine. Show me a target.
I want to go home.
Son of a...
Remember me.
Save the homestead.
You fought well.
So we just Doom Beast here then? This is ephemeral, so I don't really want to play that out because I want things that permanently play to the board. I could also just Hired Gun plus Thorny Toad and then plan to open attacks next turn, attacking these into these. I don't hate that.
Get bloody, get paid.
Yeah, I think I want to double two here. I think you're right.
I shoot.
Wow, that just worked. Okay, that's great.
Many tribes under one banner.
Is it crazy to Chronicler Thorny Toad? What if I like Chronicler Thorny Toad and then play Doom Beast? I feel like that's the line. I could also Chronicler Hired Gun to Vulnerable this down the line. I think I like buffering my life total up here a bit. Yeah, I agree, Marty. If they have like another Sajani, something with Overwhelm, I like getting up to 10 here.
Gotcha.
Like I'm at a virtual 13 basically, because I have the game 3 rolled up here. Hey, that's a great draw.
Few earn the right to call themselves Trifarian.
What did we catch?
I think opponent's debating burning my mana here, which I think I'm okay with, which is why I passed. Definitely have a decent open attacks next turn.
Our banner will lead the way.
Them attacking us is also decent for us. It gives me control over where our blockers end up lining up.
Not my first gunfight.
Do I want to do this here? I think so. Hey, Dougie, thank you for the 28 months. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around.
If they're out there, I'll spot them.
That was a very good draw. You're not wrong.
Line up.
Time to make some coin.
Yeah, I agree. Orange. I could almost see playing a third Citrus Courier. Jack the winner's been very bad. This card's been very good.
Ready the torches.
I know a challenge when I see one.
Light the signal fires.
The fact that he gives us life too has been huge.
Who needs me?
I don't think I attack with him here though.
Stand and defend.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable, Lampton.
This will be quick.
This is our homeland.
I like these blocks from the opponent. If they put the 6/6 in front of the 5/5, that doesn't play around Warping Whale, which is bad for them.
Right is judged.
And I'm at a pretty healthy 15 here. We are not playing Sheriff, no. Is that the one that makes everything vulnerable?
Ancient things trapped in the ice.
We have guests.
Will no one listen?
Well, now we listen. Alright, got a pretty decent open attacks here. That being said, the opponent's deck does play...
Gotta believe me.
does play Harsh Winds, which is a real card. when we open attacks next turn. It's a good hit for them. Maybe I'm supposed to chump one of those for 4.
They're coming! Hide!
I'll protect the villages.
Okay, they have to chump here at least.
They'll come for you!
Like, they have a bunch of cards, but I'm at a virtual 10. Seems good.
I'll lead us to
It does
victory.
not, Cody. Plunder, I'm pretty sure is a play effect.
Faster than
Do you need
my
Withering
arrow?
Wail in this deck? I mean, unless you want to die to pirates. A card triggers its plunder ability when played. Yeah.
Took the bait.
Alright, I only have 2 blockers here, so we're dead to another Harsh Winds. If they have a second Harsh Winds here.
Carved from the savage code.
Okay. Replace you, sacrifice you, right? Because you're not blocking anyways.
Return with interest.
Oh, right. Can anyone tell me if there are any cards missing from TGBot or incorrect for Runeterra? Hush was incorrect earlier, I think, Dan. Oh, nope, that's perfect now. Yeah, I'll do it.
This is the power of an Iceborn.
Yep.
Swiftly now.
So, they're numbering their sets kind of weird, Dan. The new card drop that happened for Runeterra is technically part of set 3. So, set 3 got 40 new cards added to it. And it looks like Soraka, there's one of the new cards from there. Perfect, you rock. That would be perfect, Dan. All right. So final thoughts on this. One, our deck named after the Undying is a lot better when we draw the Undying. That's going to be a shocking takeaway for many, I'm sure. Other things, Shakedown was a really sweet addition here. Both Shakedown and Hired Gun were fantastic, giving things vulnerable and letting our Undying attack in to remove them and also grow itself felt super powerful at different points. Jack the Winner felt super clunky in this deck. Not only does he take up board space, but like if we don't have explicitly the Undying in play, we don't have good targets for Sleep with the Fishes. And I also feel like between things like Chronicler, Remitter, and the vulnerable things, I didn't have a shortage of ways to kill my Undying. Citrus Courier was a card I found myself wanting to draw quite frequently. And honestly, I could see going up to a third copy of that. overall, I don't think this deck is super competitive. I think if you like the idea of it, it's kind of novel and it's definitely fun. Like, the games we played had some really neat grind in them, especially against the other mid-range and control decks. Pirate aggro felt tough, like it feels for most decks. I don't really know that my deck full of things that can't block is really going to have a fixable pirate aggro matchup. Yeah, like that last game had really good back and forth. Yeah, a couple people have mentioned Sheriff. I don't know, like another 6 mana spell. 6 mana is a lot of mana. And like we already have 6 things that grant vulnerable. So I don't know that I'm sold on like wanting this necessarily. I feel like this is often going to be worse than Citrus Courier. All right, at any rate, we're going to go ahead and shift gears here. We're going to play some Anivia Bolt up next.